What is going on, everybody? How is everybody doing today? So, a couple days ago, I uploaded a Bleacher Report article. You guys really enjoyed that one. It was one trade that every team should make in the 2021 offseason. So today, I'm coming at you with another Bleacher Report article. It is written by Grant Hughes, and it is one starter every NBA team must replace this summer. And I'm going to go through each one and be like, do I agree or do I disagree? Wow, I just kind of completely butchered that. But if I disagree with any one of these, like always, I'll leave a link to the article down below. And if you guys do enjoy the video, feel free to drop a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Here, sorry for not uploading the last couple days on this channel. I was just kind of back and forth between New York and Philadelphia, and I just didn't have time to really upload a video on this channel. I do apologize, but you guys are getting main channel upload today. You're getting a Heat rebuild that's already up. You're getting this video, and you're getting a Dallas Cowboys rebuild up on the Madden channel, so go check that out. I really appreciate it. So, let's take a look here. First one is the Atlanta Hawks and John Collins. Really? Okay, I wouldn't really say that he's the guy they need to replace. I mean, every team's starting five is a little bit different, but, I mean, if you're really looking at Trey, I guess you got Herter, Bogey, Hunter, Collins. Well, it's definitely not Trey or Capella. I would say it's maybe a wing. Maybe getting a better wing out there than Bogey or Kevin Herter. And I think Kevin Herter's fine as the specialist three-point shooter role. But I wouldn't feel like they need to replace John Collins. I think that the Collins-Capella frontcourt can go places. So maybe it's not that you want to pay him $100 million. You're going to have to give him a $100 million contract, most likely. But, yeah, I kind of disagree with that. I don't think they need to replace him. Celtics, Tristan Thompson, this one is definitely an easy one. They need to move on and get a better center. I like Time Lord a lot there, but I'm just maybe adding somebody with higher potential than Tristan Thompson or Luke Cornett at this point is something they need to do. And yeah, they didn't make they had a couple rookies last year, and maybe go in a different direction. Okay, Nets, DeAndre Jordan, yeah, he shouldn't even be in their starting lineup. And if I'm just gonna list if they're listing him as a starter, I'll talk about if they're a starter. But yeah, DeAndre Jordan, Jared Allen was miles better than him, and he was still starting over him due to politics on the team. And even Nicholas Claxton. I mean, I think Jordan's better than Nicholas Claxton right now, but I think they could use an upgrade. They got what, 2 years left on that contract. They give him a 4-year deal. Bismack Biyombo of the Hornets, yeah, move on from the Bismack Biyombo, Cody Zeller role for the Hornets and just try to find an upgrade at center. Either it's even just going after Andre Drummond. I don't think Andre Drummond's a particularly good player or just a ceiling raiser at all, but I think he is an upgrade over Bismack Biyombo. Is he an upgrade over Cody Zeller? I don't know. That one's a little bit close, but I think that the Hornets, yeah, that's their big thing to go out and get a good center, because they haven't had a good center since Al Jefferson was there, and then besides that, hasn't been for a minute. Bulls, Garrett Temple, I mean, yeah, I don't even know if you would consider him just a long-time starter anyway. He was kind of just maybe a one-year thing, because you got Kobe, you got Levine, you got Powell, Markkanen, and Nikola Vucevic right now. We'll see what happens if they bring back Markkanen or not. Do they use him in a sign-and trade? Do they go out and get a different point guard like Alonzo Ball, and that bumps Kobe White out of the line? Do they end up trading Zach LaVine? The Bulls can definitely go with a multiple routes this offseason, and we're gonna have to see which one they end up going with what Carney Chilvas in that front office decides to do. But yeah, I don't think there's any reason why Garrett Temple was even in consideration. Like, good player, fine bench pace, but should even be in consideration of being in your starting five going next year for this team. Cavs, Nance. I mean, Nance wasn't that bad. Nance isn't that bad. As the 4, he was better than Kevin Love at least this year for the Cavs. I mean, I think Kevin Love's name should pop up on here, but it's gonna be hard to get rid of Kevin Love due to his contract, his age, and his skill, that what we've seen from him over the last couple of years. But they got Garland, they got Sexton, they got Okoro, they got Jared Allen. I'm fine with Nance there at the 4. I guess if there's going to be an odd man out, maybe somebody they take in the draft. Yeah, maybe they add an Evan Mobley or Jonathan Kuminga and Nance is out. I mean, I'm fine if that's the case. But I really don't think that Nance was the worst player in that starting 5, because it was probably Okoro, but obviously Okoro's a rookie. But I'm not saying Okoro was bad, because he showed tremendous flashes of defensive star potential this season, and I think they used the top 10 pick on him last year, so he'll be in the starting 5 nonetheless. But you have Okoro, you have Allen. I'm guessing Sexland will still be the backcourt next year. I think Larry Nance will probably not be there at the 4 if they get a top 5 pick and they end up with a Kuminga or a Evan Mobley. And if they get Evan Mobley, I could see him starting right away. But if they get Kuminga, I could still see Nance being their starting 4 next year. Josh Richardson, yeah, that trade is not working out for the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, it ended up netting them also Tyler Bay with a second-round pick. It was either Bay or Terry. I think it was Bay. But yeah, they traded Seth Curry for Josh Richardson. Seth Curry, it was on one of the best contracts in the league. If Seth Curry was a free agent in 2020, he would have got Joe Harris money. Yeah, he would have got Joe Harris money. If he was a free agent this year, he'll get right around what Duncan Robinson's about to make. And Josh Richardson just wasn't really a plus shooter for them this year. He shot 33% from 3, which wasn't great. And he's a solid defender, and that's what Dallas kind of needed. They needed more playmakers on the defensive side of the ball. We'll just see how much he ends up getting. And if he'll be on the Dallas Mavericks next year, I don't think he will be. I don't see them bringing him back. Nuggets, Will Barton, okay. I mean, yeah, they have Michael Porter Jr., they have Aaron Gordon, they have Jokic, they have Jamal Murray. I guess they're really just trying to find that long-term, too. Is it Barton? I don't think it's Campazzo. Monte Morris. They're probably going to look in different directions to maybe add it, too. Maybe they'll have a contract or a minimal exception to go out and get somebody. Like, I would like Josh Richardson on the Nuggets, speaking of that. But Josh Richardson's probably going to make 15-plus mil, and they're already paying Murray, they're already paying Jokic, they're paying Aaron Gordon, they're paying Will Barton, and they're going to have to pay Michael Porter Jr. very soon. So they're not really in a place to go out and get a free agent like that. But, yeah, I think Will Barton, I mean, I don't think he's the worst player in the world. I think the Nuggets could have been finals contenders if Jamal Murray didn't get hurt. Pistons, Mason Plumlee, I mean, it's really just a timeline thing for that. He doesn't really fit their timeline at this moment. He's, around 30 years old. They're playing the young guys like Dumboya. Jeremy Grant's still fairly young, but he's a little bit older. Killian Hayes, they'll be playing a lot more. They're going to be adding, or they have like Saban Lee, they're playing Dennis Smith Jr., Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, and they're going to have a top 5 pick in this draft most likely if they're going to add a Cade, Suggs, Green, Kuminga, or Mobley. Yeah, I think it's really just for timeline purposes. I'm sure you would like to get Isaiah Stewart some more minutes and some more reps, let the young guys develop for a team that's not going to be good next year either. Warriors, Kevon Mooney. Yeah, I don't think he should be in the starting lineup anyway. I mean, Wiseman's going to be back at the 5, unless they end up taking Evan Mobley in the draft. They have Pascal/Draymond at the 4, which he'll be starting for Draymond next year. They'll have Wiggins at the 3, and they'll have the Splash Brothers. So, yeah, I don't think Mooney would be in the starting 5 anyway. So, okay, like, whatever. Rockets, Daniel House. Okay, I mean, like, yeah, I could definitely see him getting traded this offseason. We'll see if they're able to find a John Wall trade, but they're going to be adding a top 5 pick in this draft. They also have 2 other first-round picks from the Robert Covington trade via Portland and the PJ Tucker trade via Milwaukee. So they're going to have 3 first-round picks. They're going to be playing some more rookies. They got Wood, they got Jayshawn Tate, they got Kevin Porter Jr. They're 3 young guys that I think will all be in the starting 5 next year. Like, you'll probably have the Porter Jr. Wall backcourt. You'll have Tate 3/4. You'll have Wood, and then maybe they add a Mobley. Maybe they add a Cade. Maybe they add a Jalen Green to that starting 5. And they should have a little bit of cap space, so maybe they go out and get somebody. And they also still have Eric Gordon. We'll see if they find an Eric Gordon trade in the offseason. But I think Daniel House, on a fairly favorable contract, I think he can get traded for multiple seconds. I don't know if a team will give up a late first, but multiple seconds for Daniel House. Pacers, Justin Holiday. I mean, if they're bringing back T.J. Warren, yeah, I wouldn't see why, Justin Holiday would be on this team. Or in the starting 5, excuse me. You got Brogdon, you got LeVert, you got Warren, you got Sabonis, you got Turner. Justin Holiday's not better than any one of those players. It should be in the starting 5. Clippers, Patrick Beverley. I mean, they've been looking for that upgraded point guard. Rondo's been solid. They're currently down 2-1 on the Mavericks right now. We'll see what happens. Reggie Jackson, I don't think, has been the answer at all for them. I think Rondo has been the best out of the 3. It just Beverley struggles on kind of the offensive end when you're kind of relying on him as a shot creator. Even though he did shoot the ball, or he shot well from 3 this past season, I just think there's limitations with his game. Even though he's going to provide some great talent on the defensive end, excuse me. But he's getting up there in age. I mean, we'll see if Kawhi comes back. I don't know. They have bigger things to worry about, the Clippers. So let's just hope for their sake. Oh my God, because imagine they don't get past Dallas. Kawhi leaves, say he joins Golden State, Miami, the Knicks. I don't know, right? Some random teams there, or just a different team. Maybe he goes to Dallas. Who knows, right? Oh man, the Clippers gave up all their draft capital. They don't have a stud young player anymore. It used to be Shea, and yeah, Jeez, I don't even want to think about that scenario. I don't at all. LA, Dennis Schroeder. I mean, he's a free agent. He might be gone. We'll see what's going on with Dennis Schroeder. I would say they need to replace him. I guess it's Andre Drummond maybe. But I think Kuzma has been a little bit underrated this year than people give him credit for. You have AD, you have LeBron. I guess you're really trying to find that Danny Green type player for them, or just that 3-and-D guy. Is it Matthews? Is it going to just mold into the Taylor Horton-Tucker role? Is it KCP? I think that role could use some more upgrading than Dennis Schroeder, because Schroeder is their best player nonetheless. Memphis, Grayson Allen. I mean, yeah, I feel like Grayson Allen, what his ceiling is, not really a starter in this league. But yeah, you got these 3 here. I would say maybe Kyle Anderson, because we kind of already know what Kyle Slow-Mo is, what he is in this league. But I guess, he's a smart player. You play some defense. You would probably have Anderson over Allen. But Allen is a solid shooter. I don't know. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would love for them to go after, Evan Fournier. He'd be a fun pickup for this team. Kelly Oubre even. I don't think I actually want Kelly Oubre in Memphis. Miami, Trevor Ariza. Yeah, I think he isn't a starter anymore. Him, Iggy, they're not starters in this league. They're bench players that are defensive specialists, and Ariza's getting up there in age, so he's not super reliable, but he's still, you have him on your defensive side of the ball, like playing, giving you 15, 20 minutes a night. But yeah, the Miami have some big problems. They got to figure out what they're doing with Oladipo, bringing back Dragic. Nunn and Robinson are free agents. What's going on with Ariza, Iguodala? They got some stuff to figure out. Bucks, DiVincenzo, I disagree. I honestly don't think really they need to switch up their starting five at all. And if they're going to say it's between DiVincenzo or Brook Lopez, I guess Lopez is very valuable and they can't find what at least he does. But I think DiVincenzo is great on both sides of the ball. I think yeah, okay, so maybe that's not fair, but we have to pick somebody. Yeah, I wouldn't really pick anybody at all, but if you're picking somebody, I guess Brook might be a little bit more valuable to this team as their rim protector. Then DiVincenzo, who gives you good perimeter defense, and just kind of, he's a complementary piece to like Giannis and Holiday Middleton. But yeah, like those three players I just mentioned are great on the defensive end. Lopez, good rim protector. I guess you can lose that defense if it's DiVincenzo. Next up, Minnesota, Josh Okogie. Yeah, I think they should look to package Okogie and Culver. Maybe to a team like Detroit or Sacramento or Houston, a team that would maybe give them some NBA, like, a little bit more talent. Like, I kind of like that trade from the last Bleacher Report article, then maybe moving Culver and Okogie for Eric Gordon and like a second. I could be fine with that. I think they should look to do that because you're going to try to make the playoffs next year. Oh my God, especially if they don't get a top 3 pick. Oh, and it's looking like it's not going to happen unless they get lucky on draft night. We'll see. Pelicans, Bledsoe, yeah, they got to at least bench. Not bench. Yeah, I guess bench him because I want to see Kyra Lewis. I don't know what they're doing with Lonzo Ball, but I wanted to see more minutes from him or just kind of more volume for him, even though he had the best year of his career. And to kill Alexander Walker. I want to see more of these guys rather than watching Eric Bledsoe play for this team. Nick Selford Payton. Yeah, I don't need to go into this. He shouldn't even be on the team next year. You bring back Rose. You got Quickly. Try to go out and get a Lonzo Ball or maybe a Dinwiddie or a Schroeder. Nah, I like Lonzo Ball or maybe a draft one. Just please do not bring back Elfrid Payton. Thunder, Taylor Maladon. Okay, I would say yeah because he's bad. I guess you're looking for just a little bit more experience there with Shai Gilgeous. Like, you could add a Cade there or a Suggs. I think that's an upgrade over Maladon. Let him go in the bench unit. I like that. Magic, Dwayne Bacon. Yeah, they don't really need to play him. I think that with the injuries, though, they'll be getting their guy. Like, he won't be in the team or they should be in the starting five because you got, Ross still, Isaac. You got the Bamba / Carter Jr. front court. You're going to have a top 5 pick. You're going to have another lottery pick from the Bulls if it doesn't go into the top 4. You have RJ Hampton, Cole Anthony, and Fultz. Yeah, there's no reason for Dwayne Bacon to be in the starting 5 next year. Danny Green on the Sixers. I think that's fine. I think he'll be a fine bench piece anyway. And you can, like, you have Seth, you have Matisse. I think you can still have Danny Green on your team. It just doesn't need to be in the starting 5. Sure. Suns, Chris Paul. What? Okay. Dust off hands, sign satisfaction, and recline in a comfortable... Wait, so I'm confused. To be fair, value will be tricky. Paul was... What? I'm so confused. Okay. Paul's the only shot with the ability to change teams this summer, and the Suns can't let that happen. Okay. I don't get that. Then why are you having Chris Paul here? Isn't that the complete opposite of what you want to say? Oh, and you'll do nobody for the Blazers, but you'll... What? Then why wouldn't you do nobody for the Bucks? What? Okay. I mean, I agree. Yeah, I mean... Okay. Now my head hurts. Marvin Bagley. We'll see what they're going to do with him. Are they going to commit to him long term? The 2018 guys are going to start getting their max extensions at the end of this offseason. Guys like Trey, Shea, Triple J, Aiden, Luka, Sexton, they're all going to get paid a lot of money. Michael Porter Jr., et cetera, et cetera. So Bagley, I doubt he'll get the rookie extension, and it'll be a make-or-break year for him next season. San Antonio, DeMar DeRozan, I guess they need to go in a different direction. I'm fine with that. DeRozan puts them in that purgatory. Going to be that high teens, like where they ended up just getting Devin Vassell, and they're going to be picking it around the same spot this year. I think it's time. Yeah, you let DeRozan walk. Aldridge retired after you bought him out, and you just kind of go with the young guys. You're going with Murray. You're going with Johnson. You're going with Walker and White and all those guys. Vassell, and yeah, move on. Raptors, Baines. I think Boucher should just be the full-time 5. You got Siakam at the 4, OG, Trent, and Van Vliet and Lowry. Yeah, Binge doesn't need to be in that starting five. Jazz, Mike Conley, I disagree. He just had a fantastic season. Should have been maybe in the most improved conversation after the abysmal year he had last year for Utah. Disagree with that. And then Washington, Rui Hachimura. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say Rui has made any noticeable strides where he could be like a long-term 3/4 for them, but I wouldn't say he's really the biggest need for them. I guess it's kind of like their center play, if we're being honest. But yeah, that's going to be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy. Shout out to Grant Hughes for writing this article. I definitely disagreed on a bunch of these, so you can let me know what you agree with or disagree with down below. Thank you all for watching. I love you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.